sound.
Angie Bowie. No. I am Angie Bowie. No. I am Angie Bowie. No. Angie Bowie! No! I am Angie Bowie. No! No! I am Angie Bowie. No! I am Angie Bowie. No. 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 Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you drowning in silver? Or are you bathed in gold? Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you drowning in silver? Or are you bathed in gold? With streams of vitality, with threads as fine as a spider's web, they pour from your mouth. They pour from your mouth. Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? In the oceans of the moon, swimming squid-like and squalid. This bright moon is a liquid. This dark earth is a solid. Are you loathsome tonight? Does your madness shine bright? Are you loathsome tonight? Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you still shivering? Still cold? Are you drowning in silver? Are you drowning in sugar? I sit down and shiver in your silver river. Are you loathsome tonight? Does your madness shine bright? Are you loathsome tonight? The oceans of the moon, swimming squid-like and squalid. This bright moon is a liquid. This dark earth is a solid.
Thank you for coming to see us. Thank you for being here. Difficult things are happening in life.
respects to the vultures. For they are our future. Our fathers and mothers have failed to release us into the welcoming arms of the Amethyst deceivers. So pay your respects to the vultures, for they are your future. Our fathers and mothers they have failed to release us into the welcoming arms. 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 Into the welcoming of the Amethyst deceivers, 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 of the Amethyst deceivers. So pay your respects to the vultures, for they are your future. Our fathers and mothers they have failed to release us into the welcoming arms. 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 Into the welcoming to the welcoming arms, into the welcoming arms, into the welcoming arms, into the to the vultures, to the vultures, to the vultures.
Where the solar flares.
The sun is coming. The sun is coming. The sun is coming. The sun is coming. Angels are here. No angels are here.
Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. 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 Allow me to start on two.
Ambulance died at my feet. And the ambulance died at my feet. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. And then the ambulance died at my feet. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad.
Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad.
Whistle.
Whistle!
Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad.
Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad.
Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Whistle and I'll cut you with a knife. Listen, I will fuck you with a knife. Listen and I will fuck you with a knife. Listen and I'll fuck you with a knife. Listen and I'll fuck you with a knife. Listen, I will fuck you with a knife. Listen and I will fuck you with a knife. Whistle. Whistle, come to me. Whistle and I'll fuck you with a knife. Whistle and I'll fuck you with a knife. Whistle and I'll come to you, my lad. Took liquid LSD in my eye. I took liquid LSD in my eye. I took liquid LSD in my eye. Whistle and I'll come to you, my love. Listen, I'll come. Listen, I'll come. Listen, I will 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 come. To put
LSD in your eye. To put a liquid LSD in your eye. To put a liquid LSD in your eye. To put a liquid LSD. I put a liquid put a liquid LSD in your eye. Power is gold is the metal with the broadest shoulders. The metal with the broadest shoulders. The metal with the broadest shoulders. The metal with the tallest orders. The metal with the broadest shoulders.
This one I'll cut you with a knife. Thank you. And now what do? We do something from Horse Rotovator.
Quanto al futuro, ascolti, i suoi figli fascisti veleggeranno verso i mondi della nuova preistoria. Io me ne starò là, come colui che sta sulle rive del mare, in cui ricomincia la vita. Solo, o quasi, sul vecchio litorale, fra ruderi di antiche civiltà. Ravenna, Ostia o Bombay è uguale. Con dei che si scrostano, problemi vecchi, quale la lotta di classe, che si dissolvono. Come un partigiano morto prima del maggio del 45, comincerò piano piano a decompormi nella luce straziante di quel mare, poeta e cittadino dimenticato.
and the contours of the body, a sickly golden river, a sticky golden tree. His bones humming. You can hear his bones humming. Singing like a puncher. And the car rivers. Body in the basin, the shallow sea place. Beyond like a lion is sleeping. Lies down. said murder me. He said murder me. In Austria. He said murder me. In Austria. Then throw my bones over the white cliffs of Dover. Down, late
lay down with me, little lions.
For the poets and the queers.
Looking back to see the skies turn black. I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one.
Sometimes we are the one. Sometimes we are the one.
He was 5 and I was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks, and he wore black and I wore white, and he would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Seasons came and changed the times. When I grew up, I called him mine, and he would laugh and he would say, remember when we used to play? Bang, bang, I shot you down. Bang, bang, you hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I used to shoot you down. Music played and people sang. Just for me the doorbell rang. And now he's gone, I don't know why. Until this day sometimes I cry. He didn't even say goodbye. He didn't take the time to lie. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
Now it's going to get messy, I hope.
God told me to do it. He said God told me to do it. God told me to do it. He said God told me to do it. He said
God told me to do it. God told me to do it. He said God told me to do it. My Father is God. My Father is God. My mother is a whore. My mother is a whore. He said God told me to do it. 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 My Father is God. My Father is God. One thing, but my mother is a whore. She is the mother of all whores. And the President of America wakes up with something dripping from his hands, dripping at an earthly red. And is it dripping or is it tripping? Is he screaming or is he dreaming? Is he screaming or is he dreaming? Or is he tripping? Or is he ripping? Is he tripping? Or is he ripping? Oh no! 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 Because God told him to do it! Because God told me to do it. Said God told me to do it. Swallow the Bible. Swallow the Bible. Swallow the Bible. Tear every page out and swallow the Bible. said God told me to do it. Alright! He said God told me to do it. My mother is a whore. She is the mother of all wars. She said God told me to do it. She said God told me to do it. Said God told me to do it. They'll turn away. My father is a whore. He calls her mother of all wars. Mother is a whore. She is the mother of all wars. She pours war milk on it. 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 My father is gone. Oh, what a murder. My father is gone. Oh, what a murder. Father is gone. But my mother is a whore. She is the mother of all battles. She's infanticide for cattle. She's infanticide for cattle. She should be locked inside with cattle. She should be locked inside with cattle. She should be locked inside with cattle. There's my mother. He is my father. My father is God. Father is God. Sinner. Thank you very much for coming. That is it for tonight from us. We do appreciate you coming because I know you travelled a long way. Thank you from all of us on stage tonight. Thank you.
You think you had the same chance to stay with your freedom, your artistic freedom, or would you go another way to?
I think we would. The main thing would be that to make the initial spread of contact with people, and nowadays the internet is so much a part of everyone's life that it's possible to, if you're a little bit persistent, I think it's possible to get your name spread around a bit. It's hard, but Coil have a big advantage that we have been going for such a long time, and we have fans all over the world, you know, who follow what we do and who check out internet sites that are based on our work. So it's obviously easier for us than for someone starting, but I think it is possible now for someone who, for someone who has ideas and who has a vision and a kind of a passion for what they do to be successful, as far as Coil is successful, without any connection whatsoever with the music industry. The music industry is it's a dinosaur, you know, and it should have been buried many years ago.
It is very different now, though, in terms of, you know, there's so many people are making music in the kind of in the experimental music field as well. You know, everything's saturated because it's so easy to do now. You know, it's easy to get equipment and to record and master your music at home. You know, where kind of alternative experimental sections maybe 10 years ago may have only been, you know, maybe like 20, 30 different artists. Now there's 100, you know.
But I still think that it's possible to, you know, if you exercise editorial control and imagination, I think it's possible to do something that's good and different.
If the market is saturated, but do you work your music for the market?
No,
you have to do it.
I don't think you do. I think you should just do your music totally for yourself. But part of doing it for yourself is doing something that, you know, that I myself would like to hear, and in a way that's dependent on other records that I've already heard. I mean, you know, if I've heard all of the Autechre releases, then the things that I would like to hear now for myself may be influenced by that. So it's influenced in a way by the market, for example. But I don't think you can make music because you want to sound like a particular thing, or you want to copy a particular thing, or you want to try and find a particular niche. You have to do what comes from the heart.
But in the end, projects like Coil are somewhere placed in the pop market, even if it's not in the center of this. But it's not pop music; it's art. It's.
Yeah, you know, it's difficult to find a genre because there is no genre, you know, and there is, in the past, pop music, you know, like in the 60s, pop music served a very particular. It was a voice of a kind of you know, a generation of rebellion and change, and since then it's become corrupted and destroyed. So you know, the people like us, what we do is artistic, and I think what we do is you know, emotional and passionate and spiritual, if you like, but it doesn't appeal. It's not directed at an art gallery market, and it's also not directed particularly, you know, at, you know, kids who. It's just directed into the public, into the air, and anybody is able to pick it up and to find out if they want to.
But your art is in a way provoking, and maybe it's just provoking because it's reflecting, and so many people are hurt by things they didn't want to see or didn't want to realize. Don't you think so?
Maybe. I think if you're creating from the heart, then, you know, then there's going to be a truth, even if it's your truth, and sometimes that hurts. You know, but it's trying to generate something that is uncontrived, and more intuitive. It's not kind of there to be provocative. It's just there to be truthful to yourself, and if people can react with that and relate to that, then you're doing something good.
It's important to us that we deal with issues that have meaning for us, and so sometimes those issues are, the ones that are serious or deep or dark, but darkness doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. The people who like Coil because they know that we're talking the truth, and we're telling the truth, and we're speaking about things that are important for us, and often those things are important for our audience as well. It's if you just make songs about love, and it's not very interesting.
I think a lot of artists who are doing dark, or let's call it strange work, are not into discussing it or not into explaining it. This is art, it stands here, take what you need. Do you mind discussing it or doing it?
Well, I'm not very good at discussing it. Our singer, John Balance, is the sort of person who discusses it usually, but I think he's past the point of discussion right now. I don't mind talking about it, but it's quite often in interviews, especially with the kind of student newspapers and magazines and stuff, people start asking questions about the meaning of life and philosophy and things like that, and it's kind of difficult to know how to answer those questions, because the people have to find that stuff out for themselves. And there are a lot of things about Coil that really have to be discovered individually by the listener, at home in the dark with a CD or a DVD or whatever.
And each listener's response is going to vary. You can't control how someone's going to react to what you do. We have our own personal way of relating to what we do, but you can't expect other people to react to it in the same way. They might get something completely different from it.
There are a few artists who are working with symbols.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different symbols, and most of them don't want to explain what it is, but some of these artwork is mistaken as the wrong audience. You know what I mean? And for me interesting was that, for example, Death in June, I don't know what he really means, the guy, but it was forbidden for him to go on stage in Germany. So who did the mistake? He didn't want to explain anything. He didn't want to say, I'm no Nazi. You have to find out for yourself.
I mean, I don't particularly want to start talking about Death in June, because I'm not a great fan of their music or of them personally. But some people, I think they're okay, and they used to be on the same distribution company as us, but they're no longer.
Can't really talk for Doug, really.
Not at all. I wouldn't be interested to talk for him. I think people, especially people in the media, get confused between the use of a symbol and its meaning. And it's like, for example, it's okay normally for people. They say that it's okay for people to refer to the World Trade Center, attack in a news item, but it's not okay to refer to it in a song. But that, to me, that makes no sense. It's if you're going to write songs about things that are important, you need to have access to the same images or symbols or ideas so that you can comment on them, and it doesn't necessarily mean approval or disapproval. Anybody that knows Coil's work will know that we are quite political people, and we have very strong views about, behavior that's, positive and life-affirming and does good things in the world, and different kinds of behavior that encourages, hate and of particular sections of society, whether it's gay people or Americans or Germans or any other kind of, denomination of people. We Coil have a very positive and life-affirming and loving, if you like, standpoint towards nature and the planet and to our fellow animals. Now, other groups, think that it's a good idea or think that it's clever to associate with so-called fascist imagery, and to me, they don't see the harm that they do by to encourage that kind of behavior. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's if that's clear. I think people. If a band uses like Nazi imagery, for example, and doesn't qualify or doesn't explain the fact, what they mean or what behavior or what beliefs they're encouraging, then they must expect people to be angry about it.
But they can't get upset if people get angry about it. So.
No. We would always want people to be responsible for their own actions and their own activities, and so it's you just have to be careful, and you have to explain what it is that you mean.
Do you have to explain?
I think you do, yeah, because if people accidentally, if people accidentally misunderstand what you're doing and use that as an excuse for hate crimes or something, then certainly you need to explain, or you need to be responsible, or make sure people understand what it is that you're meaning.
Marilyn Manson, Rammstein.
It just depends what your intentions are. If your intention is just to literally shock and upset people, then you do that kind of thing.
To some extent, both Rammstein and Marilyn Manson are kind of cartoon characters, and I don't think that an intelligent listener or viewer would take them very seriously. But many people in America are not seemingly intelligent enough to be able to distinguish between the real Satan and somebody, in a thong. And to me, that's, it's disappointing that Americans shouldn't be able to make that distinction. But that's kind of their problem. And Marilyn is very adept and very intelligent guy, and is clever enough to manipulate the press for his own commercial interests. I have a lot of respect for the guy. I personally wouldn't want to do it that way, but he knows what he's doing.
You were talking about visions. What are your visions of where should society go? And is there a chance to change society without?
I think even there probably isn't a chance, but you still have to fight, to do so, because I don't know. This is a philosophy question. I don't know if in one way I'm pessimistic about the future of the world, about the future of the human part of the world, but at the same time I feel that you always have to try and make things better because it's your responsibility. That we have many influences or heroes, or people who influenced us when we were teenagers, like William Burroughs or Brian Gysin, John Giorno, these kind of people, and they made my life much better when I was 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, because I was able to read those books or hear their words, and I understand that what I was going through was not unique to me. It was a common experience that I shared with these creative people that changed my life. And as a creative person, I feel it's my responsibility to do that or provide that possibility for others. And the more people that do that, the more the actual quality of life for everyone will improve, I hope. That sounds pretentious, but
not at all.
But it's that's what the important thing about being a creative person, which all of us are, is to try and show people that it's possible to live in a different way, maybe from one's parents or from society in general, and it could still be creative and good and positive and lead a good life, kind of thing.
Sometimes I think the creative work can kind of kill you. If I think of I'm not talking about Jim Morrison or Kurt Cobain. I'm talking about Genesis Peerage.
How's it killed him?
It kind of killed. So there were years, I think he was kind of insane. I don't know what he's doing now.
He's trying to put the pieces back together. The thing about the work that Throbbing Gristle and Coil and to a slightly lesser extent Psyche TV did is that we kind of act as like conduit. You know, a conduit is a sort of a mouthpiece, a way of passing information that we feel back to the audience, and it's oftentimes it's quite spontaneous, and it's very deeply felt. And in the time of Throbbing Gristle, Genesis was the kind of front person and the person who had to expose his imagination and personality to the public the most deeply of the four of us. And right now John Balance is performing a similar role in Coil, and the work that we do is very demanding of the person, because it's not like you just have to show up and sing songs. You know, the people who do that have to show up and reveal the inner workings, their inner sort of soul, if you like. And revealing one's soul in public over and over is, you know, can kill you. You're right. And you say it not like Jim Morrison or Kurt Cobain, but I think those people are going through exactly the same thing. You know, and obviously, you know, people have personal issues at the same time as well, which makes the job harder. And you know, it's not for everyone. Sometimes you know, it would be easier if you were working in a shop or in a factory or in a gas station, because you wouldn't have that danger of being exposed to the public view, you know, repeatedly. That's why there are not many groups, or not many bands that do it the way we do it, because it's too demanding, you know. And it's much easier for a singer just to show up and sing the lyrics.
Who is doing it your way? Boyd Rice?
Boyd does sometimes, I guess. Yeah. All that's most of that kind of stable of genre people do it to a greater or lesser extent, and different artists. I mean, in a way, you know, I think that Nina Simone probably does it more than Nick Cave. I don't know. That's just from my vision. I don't know, but
there's another guy who did work with you, Mark Almond.
Mm-hmm.
Still in contact?
We speak to Mark every now and again. Yeah, we're hoping actually to do a new record that's kind of an anniversary release of Our Tainted Love, because that was the first record that, as far as we know, that actually provided money for people with AIDS. And it seems like, even though it was nearly 20 years ago now, there's a whole new generation of people who haven't learnt the lessons of the first generation of people that died, because they're all gone. And so lots of young people have unsafe sex and don't, because they think either they don't know or they don't care, or they think that, you know, the advance in medication and health is enough to protect them, which is not true. So we're interested in doing a new release, possibly with or without Mark, I don't know, that tries to bring this information to the public, and also and brings it back into the present, into the public eye.
You were doing several pop songs in your special way, cover versions, not only Tainted Love, also Who by Fire,
Mm-hmm.
and yesterday
Bang Bang, yeah.
to me, this Cher song.
We you know, we have a strange approach to humour, in that, you know, first of all, we think they're great songs, and secondly, we think that it would surprise people and entertain people and amuse people to hear us doing them. And thirdly, you know, we think that we can actually do a version that has meaning in the same way that a Coil song would have meaning, because generally all Coil songs are kind of sort of have an undercurrent. We like to make music that appeals not simply to the front of your mind, but also to the back of your mind, so that you might have some appreciation or some different understanding of the song 2 weeks after you hear it, as well as what happened when you heard it for the first time. So the songs that we choose to cover, generally we think fit this requirement of having a kind of funny and amusing reaction immediately, but also when you think about it, you have there's a double take. So obviously with Tainted Love, it was kind of weird to start with, but it also had a different meaning later, and maybe some even other meanings later on still. And likewise with Bang Bang. We're working right now on a cover version of Losing My Religion. But that's a long story.
So this brings me to maybe the last question. Do you believe in any kind of a God?
Yes, very much so. And she works for me.
She works for me.
What's her daily wage?
I'm being stupid, but it's difficult to talk about one's personal beliefs. But I definitely do believe that there are things, it's not just random, and death's not the end, but I can't explain why I believe that, or why. To me, you just know. It's like ritual. Everybody, thinks that these things are outside ourselves, or that the church is something that is up there on the hill and you have to do what they say, but it's not. It's inside, and you have to just listen and it becomes obvious.
So thank you very much for spending time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll write down my...
Yeah, that would be great, yeah.
I think I have no business card with me, but I can write down everything.
Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you drowning in silver? Or are you bathed in gold? Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you drowning in silver, or are you bathed in gold? With streams of vitality, with threads as fine as a spider's web, they pour from your mouth. They pour from your mouth. Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? In the oceans of the moon, swimming squid-like and squalid, this bright moon is a liquid, this dark earth is a solid. Are you loathsome tonight? Does your madness shine bright? Are you loathsome tonight? Are you still shivering? Are you still cold? Are you still shivering? Still cold? Are you drowning in silver? Are you drowning in sugar? I sit down and shiver in your silver river. Are you loathsome tonight? Does your madness shine bright? Are you loathsome tonight?
am Angie Bowie. No. I 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 am Angie Bowie. No! I am Angie Bowie. No! I am Angie Bowie. No! I am Angie Bowie. No. I am Angie Bowie. No. I am Angie Bowie. No. I am Angie Bowie. No.
Sound